And my manager and good friend, AC. Let's hear it for him. Okay. Can you hear me? The reason I asked, because sometimes, work. Great to be here. Great to be here. And thanks for coming out. Great. I love being here, and when you get to be my age, you love being anywhere. In a couple of weeks, I'm going to be celebrating, I hope, my 88th birthday. Yeah, it's nice to get applause for not dying. I want to turn to you because I want to ask your age, but I don't want to ask the women because I never ask a woman her age, really. So men, would you please shout out, when I count to 3, shout out your ages. What are your ages? 1, 2, 3.
27.
28? 27? What else? 87? 37? 57? What? Look, at my age, you expect me to hear? Okay, who said 37? Who said 20? Who said 37? Okay, good, good. I can hear your voice. I can't see your hand. What is your name, sir?
Daniel.
Daniel?
Yeah.
Okay, Daniel, I love you. Daniel, are you okay with math? Daniel, focus. Daniel, you're 37, Daniel?
Yes.
Okay. Are you okay with math?
I'm okay, yeah.
All right, good. Thank you for talking to me. What is the difference between our ages? If I'm 88 and you're 37, what is the difference? How many years between us? How much? Can't hear you.
51.
How much?
51.
51 years between us. Okay. Daniel, would you like to know what your life is going to look like when you're in 51 years?
Sure, if I live that long.
Yeah, right. I keep asking myself the same question. This is what your life is going to look like. Okay, listen carefully, everybody. Your life is going to become an action film. Because in an action film, the hero gets a bullet wound in his stomach. And he gets a bullet wound in his shoulder, and he's got a knife sticking out of his chest. But he's got to make it to the burning house to save his wife. And this is me at 3 o'clock in the morning on the way to the toilet. Okay, I get to the toilet. I'm standing over the bowl. You're with me?
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm waiting. And I got tired of waiting. So I count. 1, 2, 33, 49. Here it comes. Here it comes. If you're ready. 1.5 drops, ladies and gentlemen. Give it up for 1.5 drops. Come on. I feel good. Yeah, I knew that I would now. Now I got to get back to bed. So we go back into the action film, you know, and I get back into bed, and I'm closing my eyes, and suddenly I hear my bladder talking to me. And what do I hear? The bladder says, "All right, sweetheart, get back in the toilet. You ain't finished yet." So it's back to the action film. My wife and I were invited to a party. I think it was about a month ago. To a very special party because the woman, the hostess, has a terminal disease, and she has a couple of months to live. So she invited all her friends who were musicians and actors and everything to come and celebrate her soul leaving her body. And my wife said to me, we can't go. And I said, why? She said, because Iran, if you don't hear the news, Iran is going to attack. You remember that?
Yeah.
Who remembers that? Okay, so she's saying we have to be near the shelter because there's going to be an Iran attack. And I kept on saying, Iran attack, Iran attack. It sounds like a laxative. Take 2 Iran attacks in the morning and shit your brains out all day. So I told her, look, you go sit in the shelter. I'm going to the party because I would rather be dancing while I'm getting bombed. So we get to the party. People are dancing, drinking, have a good time, eating. I see the hostess. She waves to me. She comes over, gives me a big hug. She whispers in my ear, sing to me. And she hands me the mic, and I get up on stage, and I sit down. Why? Daniel, you listening? When you get to be my age, sitting down is much more pleasurable than having sex. If you don't believe me, wait a while. And you won't be listening, you won't be hearing the sounds that you make when you sit down that you had when you're having sex. You're not going to hear, a Bahaya. Okay, anyway. So I sit down, and I tell her, sit next to me. She said, why should I sit next to you? I'll sit on you. And she sits on my lap. And I look into her eyes. And now the end is near. And so I face the final curtain. And all of a sudden I got a fart real bad. I got a problem because she's sitting on this leg, I got to lift up this leg. Not only that, I have a dilemma because I have several kinds of farts. I don't know if you can identify with them, but maybe in the 51 years you'll find out. The first one is very loud, like a Hamas demonstration at Columbia University, but less odor, okay? The second one is silent, but rancid. And the third one is called, Daniel, when you get to be my age, you listening? Never trust a fart. Because you fart, and you didn't expect the fart to bring along his family and friends. So I figure I'll go for the first one, the Hamas one. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit the high note so nobody can hear it. For what is a man? What has he got? And I let it go. And it's the silent, the one that has the odor of a 2-week-old corpse. And she looks at me and she goes, oh, this makes dying much easier. Go ahead, give it up. I ain't got long. I got to hear it. I got to feel the love. Come on. I'll get as much as I can while I can. Thank you, darling. You feel it too? You feel it? You get the feeling? What's your name?
Michelle.
Michelle? How are you, Michelle?
I'm good. How are you?
Having a good time?
Yes.
Okay, great. Me too. I went to visit my sister. I have a sister who lives in Atlanta, Georgia. She's 95. I flew in with my wife, and we had conversations, and most of the conversations were around, since I'm 88 and she's 95, the conversations were around who comes to whose funeral first. And I said, why don't you die first? And I'll feel the pain. This way you don't have to feel the pain. And she says, no. She actually said this to me. This is the truth. All of what I'm telling you is the truth. She said, if you die, I'm going to die on the same day. And having 2 funerals the same day, it's not going to work. So I agreed to wait. I'm 88. Give me a break. Enough is enough. Anyway, she changes the subject. I did a DNA test. I said, DNA test? She said, yeah, I spit into this test tube, and they bring it to the lab, and I found out all my relatives, even Uncle Louie the pervert. And she looks at me and she says, you know you have a son. You listening to this? I got a son. He was born in 1963. His mother gave him up for adoption. And his name is Jim. And my sister says to me, I'm in touch with him every week. Would you like to talk to your son? This is a bitch, isn't it? Will you still love me if I get to the end of this? Okay. I said, yeah, give me the phone. And I took the phone. I said, Jim, who your daddy? No, this is the truth. I said, Jim, I just found out that you're my son, and I would love to meet you. Can you come to Atlanta? Really? You can fly in on Tuesday morning? Great. Tuesday morning comes. Everything I'm telling you is the absolute truth. He comes in through the kitchen, into the living room, and he looks at me, and he goes, it's a boy. And we're hugging, and we're kissing. And I'm having the greatest time hugging my biological son that I didn't know I had for the first time. I said, Jim, what do you do for a living? He said, I'm an orchestra leader. Oh, you chose the arts. So did I, performing arts. Tell me something. Where did you study? He said, University of Hartford. I said, oh my God, so did I. Where did you get your degree in? He said, a master's degree in education. I said, oh my God, so did I. How many children you got? He says, 3. I said, me too. What are your children's names? My grandchildren. He says, my first son's name is Nathan. My first son's name is Nati.
Wow.
Natan. Nathan. Why am I telling you this? Because don't just buy condoms. Use them! And now I welcome to the stage Noah Manor. Here's Noah. Yeah. Feel good.
I feel